Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
And this is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And man, settle in because you're getting a earful today. We're going to take you back to Boston and let you in on what it's like to be with Believe in the Run throughout the weekend. We probably saw some of you there.
No, there wasn't anyone who listens to this podcast there.
Dude, I'm going to say it used to be people would come and say, hey, I love your website. I love your reviews. And then it was, oh, I watch you guys on YouTube. Overwhelmingly this week.
It's a podcast.
It was the podcast.
Yeah, that's wild. So we're not even shoe reviewers anymore. We're just podcasters.
We weren't even going to do a podcast.
We should just stop doing shoe reviews. Yeah, that is crazy.
We were like, who wants to listen to us talk about shoes? That's stupid. But you guys are here.
That is stupid because we don't talk about shoes.
We get there. We'll talk about the Pro 3 later on because that's the shoe that Robbie and I ran in. And we'll let you know the secret shoe that Megan ran in. So keep listening.
Super secret stuff.
Hey, Meg, do we got to cover any sponsor info today?
This week, our sponsor is Say Sky.
Say Sky. You know what? I was grabbing jackets to see what I would use for a toss away, and I was down. I was like, for Boston, because I forgot to bring one. And I was like looking at the jackets I brought, and I had this polka dot paste jacket from Say Sky. And I was like, I can't throw it out.
Yeah, why would you do such a thing?
I couldn't. I was like, I'll just be cold.
Yeah.
I'll so figure it out.
What was your throwaway jacket? I don't want to say it.
Yeah, I don't want to say it.
All right.
But it wasn't the Say Sky.
Yeah. I mean, you needed a rain jacket because it was kind of like potential for hard rain before. We didn't know.
It was like misting and stuff. So yeah, I wanted something.
But anyways,
I love those jackets. The paste jackets. This one has a hood. The one I was talking about last time doesn't have a hood.
Okay.
I think I like hoods better. I don't know. I never really use the hoods, but I like having
I have to have a hood. I don't like the collared, just collar jackets. I don't understand the point of them. If it's going to be raining out or wet out.
But sometimes when you're running, the hood gets flops around.
I still want the hood.
Okay.
All right. Well, you can get the hood and the paste jacket.
All right.
Check that out.
Yeah.
Also, I like all their stuff pretty much. We're getting some stuff for the Running Shoe Geeks. I help out with that Facebook group. And we ordered singlets and shorts through Say Sky that everybody's really jacked up. I can't wait to get those.
And let's see, I brought one of the Say Sky shirts with me to run in just in case, but we never had the chance.
Like one of the branded ones that we had that's like the singlet?
It was just like the t-shirt. But anyways, I like that shirt a lot too. So yeah, anyways, check them out. It's good stuff. It's saysky.us, right?
Yeah, saysky.us, and you can use the code DROP15 to save some money.
That's cool.
All right, man. Check those out. So let's get into it. Where do you guys want to start?
In the beginning.
I don't even remember.
So I was a tiny baby.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's maybe start with Friday.
Wow.
All right. Friday is a good idea.
I don't even remember that far back in my life.
I have to say, you know what was unique about this trip?
I mean, there was a lot of things, to be honest.
There was something that was really unique.
Okay.
I'm going to mention it.
Was it that I was sitting outside waiting
Boom,
for you?
That was it. That Robbie was ready.
That's right. And we were packing up the car, and I got a text from Robbie that was like, just want to confirm you're not waiting on me and you're coming to pick me up. And I was like, yeah.
And when we got there, he had a wallet.
He did. And a phone.
A phone and all my bag. I had my race day shoes. Shocker. And I didn't go. Yeah, I had everything I needed. There was never a moment on the trip where I was without something I needed.
How did this happen?
I don't know because I packed that morning.
Oh my God.
And just so people know, we were leaving at 10 a.m.
Yeah. I had started the night before, but I would say the majority of the packing was done that morning.
Okay, so you don't have a run that day.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sleep in, or do you have to take the boys to school so you're up anyway?
I took the kids to school.
All right.
And then did I? See, that's what I say. I can't remember that far back. Anyways, but yeah, so I was out there waiting. We were good to go. Got to the airport. And, Jared and I got to break in a new bathroom at the airport, which is way cooler than I thought it was going to be.
It was. I didn't know I missed out on it. I was like upset because I was eating my Potbelly.
Yeah.
We were on the plane. We got on before them.
You were in line. You were in line to get on the plane at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was during Potbelly.
No, because we ate with you. And then, but I didn't think it would be that cool I just never imagined I would be one of the first people to use a a bathroom in an airport.
Were you tempted, since nobody had ever used that toilet, to do something that you'd never do?
Yeah, just like graffiti it, just
or no,
because.
like, I mean, knowing you, like, eat off of it or something.
Oh my God.
Well, now that you say that, I should just have my lunch in there. There's like, but it was wild because there's just like people taking pictures in there, which
In the bathroom?
yeah, it was like the people who built it and stuff and everything. Because literally, I was
like the yellow tape
like the first
went
10
down
people
and they went in.
Yeah, it was like they cut the ribbon for the bathroom.
How upsetting would that be, though, when you finish something?
Do they cut ribbons for bathroom openings?
They did for that one, I would think.
That's-
It would. I don't think they actually cut it, but it was like a grand opening of the bathrooms.
Yeah, they handed out a key to the city to anybody who used it.
They had, and this is weird. As you leave the bathroom, they had a touch screen that rated like your service.
How cleanliness it is,
But I
right?
was like, why? I don't want people touching that.
No, the reason it's there is so, like, if say that you went in there and the toilets were messy,
Oh, they know.
they want you to let somebody know to come clean it.
It's a,
Like, you don't have to.
but it's an American bathroom. I assume that it's just going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
Actually, no, the ones in Baltimore, they have, there's a couple really nice bathrooms.
It's
in
the
them.
new ones. Yeah.
The new ones are really nice. Like floor to ceiling
Yeah, but the
doors.
humans inside of them aren't.
Yeah.
Accurate.
All
All
right.
right. Wow. We
that
imagine
much
coming
time
to a
in the
Boston
bathroom.
Marathon recap and hearing a bathroom review for the first
I mean,
5
I'm not
minutes.
shocked.
Yeah.
I deal with you guys every
Holy
week.
crap.
Brought to you by Say Sky. All right. Let's
right.
roll in.
So we arrived at Boston around
Effortless
noonish.
flight.
Yeah. It's crazy how short those flights
I know.
are.
It's like not even an hour.
It kind of feels like you kind of go up and then you go back down.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster. I almost want it to be longer, even. So
I
can
wanted
get
to
settled
watch
in.
The Fablemans on the way back, and I didn't have time.
Oh yeah, that seems like a long movie. And so we got there around noon, 1 o'clock, I guess.
No, it was like
To
3
Boston?
o'clock.
Into Boston, it was around 2:00.
Why
We
I'm
checked into
talking.
our hotel around 3.
And then we headed over to
And then, we walked
the
over to the Expo.
Expo.
Oh yeah, the Expo.
All right, Robbie. So you've been now to a few different expos.
Uh huh.
How did the Boston experience rate?
I thought that was one of the better ones. Maybe it wasn't as big as some. I
It was
don't
not
know.
as big as
There
last
was no
year.
retailers other than Adidas.
I felt like Houston was one of the biggest ones I'd ever been to.
Chicago's huge.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
probably the biggest one I went to. And then London was huge.
I know it was big.
but I thought Boston was cool because it had a lot of like cool things, like things that you could stand in front of and take your pictures. Things
They
like that.
have it set up for social media.
Yeah, that was nice.
Like you didn't have to wait. Like it was, sometimes you go to a marathon and there's like one wall
Yeah.
that has the marathon logo on it or one wall with the names on it. This had like setups, several different like map of the course.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
Just the BAA logo. Like,
Sam Adams beer for what do you call it? Giveaway.
yeah, they had it. The longest line in the expo was to get
Was the
beers.
beer line for sure.
Hey, just out of curiosity, I think we hit it at the perfect time because it was not crowded at all.
Yeah, we did.
And then, what did you? And so, if you're looking to go to Boston, go Friday at around 4:30. That's the money time. What did you think? You tried the Morton Solid for the first time.
Oh, yeah, it just tasted like one of those cheap granola bars.
Yeah, it tastes
from
exactly like a Chewy bar.
Yeah, Chewy bar.
Chewy bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, how much does a Morton Solid?
20 times as much as a Chewy bar.
I bet for one bar it's the same as a box of the Chewies.
Yes, accurate.
Yeah.
But isn't it? That's what always confused me though, because when a Chewy is also a dog food brand, right?
Chewy.
Yeah, Chewy is a dog food brand.
Yeah, that's.
Wait, is it a dog food brand or is that the name of the? Like,
It's like the store.
you order. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chewy's.
Oh,
Like
okay. Because I always
mail order.
think people are getting a lot of granola bars delivered to their house. I'm like, why?
It's like
They're not even good.
Petco, but it's Chewy.
Okay.
You know what's crazy? At the back of Petco, I saw Chewy boxes. So I don't know if they ran out. Of
No, I
stuff and
think
just
they all.
ordered
I
it.
don't know. It's all the same stuff.
All right.
Oh.
I was thinking they ran low on something. They're like, just order from Chewy. Mark it up.
Nice. So yeah, but I thought the Adidas shopping area was pretty. I mean, that was a madhouse, of course.
That was crazy. But I think it was the best swag of any sponsor ever.
There was some nice stuff there, definitely.
I was so glad we didn't buy anything because it turns out
Adidas hooked us up.
Adidas
Yeah.
sent over bags that were like packed.
Right, because
You're wearing one of the things right now.
we probably talked about it, but Thomas and I, well, and Brandon got our bibs from Adidas because they're the title sponsor.
Brandon was.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Brandon. What an idiot. Brandon,
Damn it, Robbie! You ruined the show.
I just ruined Brandon's legacy. He was. I just thought because we were all running together in the back that I keep thinking that he was with us, but he qualified legitimately by a ton.
So we had our Adidas packages. We got like a shite ton of gear. Everything I got, I love.
Yeah, I tried wearing it all this morning, and then I was just really hot, so I had to shed some layers.
Yeah,
I got 2 on. I got the blue T-shirt on too.
Neat.
I don't know.
That's really cool.
I got a really cool sweatshirt too. I didn't wear it today.
She got the color that I like, the cream.
Oh, nice.
I
mean, and everyone who was like bashing the jackets in the beginning, dude, the jackets are sweet.
The jackets are cool.
They did an awesome job with them.
Yeah, I don't need embroidery on my back.
No, it isn't grandma's hand-me-downs or whatever Christmas presents.
Making a quilt out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the stuff was great. This jacket you could actually run in. So yeah, it was cool. And it was kind of funny because I know you were a little bit on the fence about celebrating Boston with the jacket.
Yeah, I embraced it now.
I mean, Robbie was head to toe lavender yesterday on the plane.
Tracksuited out. I mean, if you're going to give me a tracksuit, kind of got to wear the tracksuit.
Yeah. I mean, and it's sweet. It feels good. It's nice. So I dig it. Anyway, so we pick up our bibs. We do some photo shooting.
Hold up. You think that... is that you guys think that's lavender?
Yeah.
Really?
What do you call it?
Is that not gray?
No, it's like purple.
It's got like a purpley gray tint to it, I guess.
Man, I don't know. There's some color spectrum stuff going on.
You might be colorblind.
No.
You and Kafuzi.
Yeah, you and Mike Co.
You know, it's like a slate gray. I guess there's a purplish hinge to it.
That is lavender,
dude,
bro.
no way.
Yeah.
Can we? Okay, that's a poll we're gonna do. I'll put that in the Spotify
What do they
questionnaire.
call it?
Yeah, actually look it up if you
going
can.
to.
Mauve.
Oh, that might be an in between.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Sorry.
we pick
Silver violet.
Silver violet.
Okay, so we're both we're like it's like falls right in between.
There's
legitimately silver is in the name.
Yeah, but you throw in violet, that's purple.
Okay, everyone wins. Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
All right, so phone in with your answer. All right, so you think getting dinner would be really easy?
No, I knew it was going to be a problem, and I definitely should have made a reservation. So anyway, we walked down Newbury Street. We also picked like the worst street to walk down to find dinner.
Fair enough.
We went from spot to spot to spot with no luck.
Well, the weird thing is that's really the only place to get food in downtown for some reason. There's not that many places off of Newbury Street.
That's
well,
true.
there are, just you'd have to go like a mile away.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I meant, like off, like in the area.
Yeah. I forget where we ended up.
We ended up back at our hotel, the Bar 10 at the West End, which is actually a fine spot. We ended up spending quite a bit of time there after the marathon too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fine. It was good. We had some drinks, some dinner.
And then it was time for sleeps.
Called it a night.
Yeah. Oh, the crazy thing, because we were gonna eat at Dirty Water Dough Company.
We ended up getting that
We
Sunday night.
yeah, we were gonna go there Friday night, but like there's too many people, so we just couldn't. But then when we went back to our hotel room, this is still blowing my mind. Jared and I turned on the TV to watch Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, one of the best reality shows ever created, and the episode that was on. It wasn't just the episode. The actual thing on the TV was Guy Fieri at the Dirty Water Dough Company. And I thought in my head, oh, this is like an infomercial for the hotel. You know how they play the hotel
like
stuff?
local places. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was just randomly that episode, that place. I don't know. I didn't know if that was good luck or that was just like a general thing that happened.
I mean, as long as we're here, let's talk about it. So the night before the marathon, that's where we got our pizza from. I don't know where you got yours from.
Yeah, we did too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay.
Yeah. Oh, the pizza itself?
Yeah.
We did get a chicken parmesan pizza. Dude, it was
That's good.
like Jarrett. I was like, I don't know, Jarrett. sounds a little too heavy.
Yeah, that's like, no,
But we got
I
a small one of it, and then which is the perfect size because you can't eat a whole chicken parmesan. You probably could, but it was real good. I'm not like for real. It was good.
Brandon could eat that.
Oh yeah. Anyways,
All right, so then we got some Z's, and we were pretty excited because we were going to be doing an event with New Balance in the morning, and it was pretty cool.
We got to go to their new store on Newberry, which
Permanent
was
store.
not a pop-up. A lot of the brands were doing pop-ups like they always do, Boston Marathon weekend, but they were actually, I guess their store opened, like a few weeks ago?
Yeah, it sounds like it's more, it's not just running, it's
Lifestyle.
The place is pretty slick. I'm sure right now Brandon's rolling video of like us going through,
yeah.
but just a beautiful store. I think they're treating it a little too much like a non-Boston weekend store, though. Like every other place is just jam-packed. Like you can throw people in there. We were told they wanted it to be a little more organized. So
Yeah, man, you need to pack that place out. Like, just
could
have
had
it
that place
wall to wall.
rolling. And instead, we had 30-minute windows for people to come in and get their Carbox that Featherston put together. Meg, what was some of the stuff that was in the Carbox?
There's actually a whole video, which Brandon will probably also roll some of this now, but there was 4 bagels, like 4 packets of pretzels, graham crackers,
Animal crackers.
This brand called Fast Food, which made gels and
Gummies.
Gummies.
I didn't actually have any of that. What's it?
I didn't either.
Oh,
I did.
Okay.
I ate one.
I had it in my bag, but then just never ended up taking it.
I ate one.
Okay, cool. Did it help? I guess we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I ate it during the day. Here was the great thing about the Carbox, and here's what I loved about it. It basically was your snack box for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Like I ate bagels out of it. I had the pretzels. Like anytime I got a little hungry, animal crackers.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then I packed my pre-race, like the bag that we took on the bus to have snacks. There's a whole sleeve of graham crackers.
Mm-hmm.
Took that whole thing to the start line with me. I was eating some on the bus, eating some at the start line.
Oh, I was eating bagels in bed with Jarrett, just snacking on a bagel while we were
That sounds
watching
right.
Triple D.
Okay,
Yeah.
but people like just so you know, Robbie is married and Jared is married. That when they were eating bagels in bed, this is because they were sharing.
A king size bed. We are kings,
Yeah,
so it fit the bill. Jarrett was losing his mind though, because like I don't share blankets with people, and so I had to order another blanket and sheet the next night, have our little separate quarters.
that's so weird. Why not the blanket and sheet?
I don't share with my wife. We have our own separate sheets.
This
Blanket.
This is news. This is big news.
Wait, how do you share a bed?
We have like a. Do we have a king? We might have a king size bed. Maybe it's a queen, but
Like, so you have multiple sheets on it?
like top sheets, not like the bottom like fitted sheet. I can't, like, I literally just can't sleep. Like there's something about sharing that I don't know if it's from being in the band when we slept in sleeping bags like all the time, like on tour, that maybe it's like I need my own like separate space.
Cocoon.
Yeah, I just can't, like I'm always awake if I have to share.
This is
somebody.
the weirdest thing. And then I got reports from the guys that you are nonstop moving.
Well,
Yeah, I did
That
hear
was
that.
why, like that night especially, because I couldn't find my space. I was just constantly tossing and turning.
You sound like a nightmare.
It
to
was
sleep
terrible.
And then Jared's telling me the whole weekend he's complaining that there's no fans in bathrooms. In
Oh,
the
yeah.
hotel. So were you guys just annihiling that
No,
bathroom?
Jarrett
Is that
would
why
use
he's thinking about it so
Jarrett
much?
would use the downstairs one in the lobby.
How are we talking so much about bathrooms?
No, this is what the people want to know.
Yeah.
This is our.
I don't think anyone wants to know about
Okay,
this.
I'll put that in the poll too. Do you want
Yeah, please do, because no one gives a shit.
Okay,
I
but-
can't tell you how many people Jarrett went around to this weekend and said, "How come there's no fans in bathrooms in a hotel?"
It is a good question. Honestly, I have been thinking about that. But anyways, last thing, and this is important because Jarrett kept bringing this up, and I want to get your guys' opinion. Do you put your clothes when you get to a hotel? Do you put your clothes in a drawer?
Absolutely not.
Never.
Never.
I did this time, but it's because of the packing cubes.
Yeah.
So all my stuff is separate in packing cubes. So rather than have to dig through my bag every time
yeah.
to find stuff, I was just like, well, it's already sorted out.
That's
I have
what
my
I'm
t-shirts,
saying.
my stuff. So I was like,
What do you mean digging through your bag? It's just take the packing cubes out of the bag. when you need them.
Yeah, and put them in the drawer.
No, don't put them in the drawer. That's ridiculous.
I actually took them out of the pack in cubes and put T-shirts in one drawer.
Oh, really? So you don't
socks.
just take the cubes and put it in the drawer?
No, I T-shirts laid out in one drawer, socks in another drawer, running gear in a third drawer.
That's just a recipe for me leaving all of my shit in the hotel.
Yeah, I mean, you would think I would do that.
And I looked in the drawers before we left.
Yeah, I have like my race day drawer, my like
Race day drawer.
it was like everything I needed for race day was in one drawer.
And that way you're safe and you.
I just had that like sitting on a chair or something.
See, I wouldn't expect you to do that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you hang your clothes up too?
No.
I did.
Like
Like
jackets,
my
long
big
sleeve?
jacket I did just because it's like big and I didn't know what to do with it, but normally no.
All right, so we're back at the New Balance store.
Anyways,
I'm doing your job.
yeah.
We're back at the New Balance store. And
Time out.
Yeah.
In the box too, we forgot there was awesome beanies.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Boston beanies and gift cards for the New Balance store.
That's right.
If you got one of those boxes, like you're really making out with
got
a nice
it.
little package.
$25 to the New Balance store, a hat, all the carbs you could ever want.
And I know we said that we didn't, it wasn't like packed out, but it was cool because you could actually like talk to the people like who were coming in, and like Meg, like I got to talk to Megan and Meg, like, and have like an actual kind of conversation.
That was the nice part, is as people trickled in, you were able to sit and have a conversation with people and actually interact with them instead of like in sometimes the giant crowd. It's like just amorphous.
Mm-hmm.
So Meg, we had everybody there. It was great that we got to spend individual time with people. You probably met a lot of fans from Fuel for the Soul. I know I did.
Yeah. I mean, I was handing out boxes. I know we wanted to like pack the place, but it was kind of nice as someone who was handing everything out and checking people in to not be like totally overwhelmed. And then I could actually have conversations with people. So it was nice in that sense.
Yeah. I thought, it was a good time. Definitely just meeting a bunch of people, because I feel like it's separate than a lot of people that were at the ASICS run.
Yeah.
Like I think it was a kind of a different group.
There definitely was. I think that, these were the people. This was the Fuel for the Soul crowd with some Believe in the Run people in. One of the guys that came in, Meg, who was the guy that you ran with? Nick?
Nick.
Yeah, Nick came in with his dad, and he'd run the Boston Marathon with Megan before.
He ran with me last year, and we both ran a similar time. This year, he ran a 2:33.
Wait,
Dude.
so last year he ran like a 2:48 or something?
Yeah, I think he was a little bit ahead of me, maybe like a 2:47, something like that.
Wow, that's quite the difference,
yeah.
man.
And
So,
what's rad is
congrats, Nick.
He has the CLA Believe Run hat.
Uh-huh.
So he was wearing that, and I'm like, anytime someone's putting with that sucker, I love it.
Nice.
But yeah. So he came in with his dad. Lynn was there, who has been at, like, Lynn's going to have to become part of the crew because he's at it, like, he comes to all the New York shakeout runs.
Yeah, he's
He
a cool
comes to
dude.
Stuff. He's great. And he even came to the ASICS run the next day. But after we handed out bags, and we handed out a shite ton of them, and what was nice is that they had our logo on one side and the New Balance on the other. And we got reports back that people were like, what's going on? We're seeing all these bags with your logo on it
Cool.
coming down the street.
Nice.
So I love that.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yes, and after that we had some lunch at a cafe nearby.
Well, we went and
Lennox.
hung with the New Balance team, talked about products for 2025 to 2028,
Forgot about that part. I was cold.
something like that.
Yeah, we were on a panel. Jess
Movold?
Yeah. Why do I not want to say her last name?
I don't know.
Movold. But because I feel like I'm going to botch it every time.
And
But
Alex Felitti.
Alex Felitti. And we talked about shoes and what's happening in New Balance. And
Got to see some new stuff coming down the line. Looks pretty rad.
yeah, for those of you who liked the way that the Rebel V2 looked and felt maybe that V4 was a little too much.
V3.
V3 was a little too tame. Get excited.
Yeah, I get excited. Yeah, that was cool. It was nice checking some new stuff out. And then we went to eat after that, right?
Yeah.
Did you have anything else to say about it?
No, I was just Connor and Running Warehouse was there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Where did we go?
We went to Press Cafe. We went there a couple times.
I like that place.
Yeah,
everything I had was delicious.
Oh yeah, that was a really nice spot. And it was like quick and easy for Boston.
Yeah.
You can't ask for more than that.
Well, it's kind of funny because we were able to get tables and everything, which was great. Mm-hmm. But we sat down. You guys had to be at a separate table. We sat down.
We were at the kids' table
with Feathers and what was a woman's name?
Emily,
who went to Paris with feathers. She was there.
Isn't Emily in Paris a show?
It
Yeah.
is.
She said she got a lot of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she had the American spelling versus the French spelling on her bib. But we sit down, and I kind of feel like she's analyzing stuff, so I'm kind of being a little quiet because she's giving like psychological advice to Megan and Mary.
It was like the quietest I've seen Thomas in a long time. Like we're all three chatting, and like Thomas is like sitting in a corner by himself, like very quiet. And I was like, "What is
Well,
happening?"
I'm like,
Little Jack Horner over there.
I'm not sure. This woman seems, and then I find out she's a
Sports psychologist.
sports psychologist therapist. I was like, yeah, I don't want you in my head. I'm just gonna be quiet over here. I don't want to open up those doors.
We're actually gonna have her on the podcast.
Yeah.
She's very smart. And
Did she give you any advice that you used?
what she did?
She actually said something that I found useful. So
Are you going to reveal the tip?
big reveal. Okay, so I was like, lately I haven't been feeling the urge to be competitive in the race. Like I haven't been trying to PR. I've been doing my workouts and doing everything, but I've been like, look, I don't want the stress on race day. I just want to run and not worry about time. And I was like, I just want to have a good time. She goes, you realize, and good time, I mean like have fun.
Yeah.
She goes, you realize that is a binary choice. Like you are deciding to have fun, and you can get let down by that if you don't have fun. So like if you get into a dark spot in the race, that's still a measurement of what your expectation for the race is.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So we kind of talked about that a little bit, but it was good, and that got me started. And believe it or not, Brandon finished the session for me on the bus on the way up to Boston.
The mental session?
Yeah, like
Brandon
actually,
Rossi, our videographer.
Yeah, our 23-year-old
Brandon.
All
our
right.
23-year-old actually came up with some wisdom that was like, again, I was on the bus and I was just like, I just want to have fun. And he goes, you know that you can just have fun. Like you don't have to worry about it. Like,
Yeah.
like it's a choice. You just say to yourself, everything I do today, I'm just going to have fun doing.
Yeah.
And he goes, and then you can not let yourself down. You will have fun. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. I guess that's an interesting way.
Yeah, he's right. I can just have fun. So I was like, I'm just going to have fun today.
So you're like looking at having fun as like a measure of the success of the race almost.
Well, I think New York was such a drag and took so much out of me.
Yeah.
I think the last two races were kind of like, I just don't want to feel like that. I don't want to feel beat up and defeated. And so like running Tokyo, just ran it nice and easy and had a great time and felt like it was a fun day and I really enjoyed it. And I wanted that for Boston, but I was worried because Tokyo is completely flat. So you can kind of zone out and just go your pace. But Boston being hilly,
Yeah.
I was like, got like PTSD from the bridges in New York.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like all in my head. And anyway, that advice helped. We can talk more about Boston when we get there. But yeah, it was kind of, Emily gave me a little spark and then Brandon finished it off. What was the advice she gave you, Meg?
I don't know that she gave me any advice, but I just enjoyed like listening to her talk through scenarios, like even talking about how when you were saying you had goals of time or to have fun, and she's like, you're making those seem like they're two separate things, where I'm like, yeah, I feel like I do the best when I have the most fun. But like hearing her kind of talk through that whole thing, like made it easier for me to understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. So then that wasn't even before race day yet. So then the rest of that day,
You guys went to the baseball game.
oh yeah. Holy cow.
So we go to the baseball game and it's really weird weather. Like in the sun, it felt like it was like 80 degrees. In the shade, it felt like 50 degrees.
Yeah. And we were under the overhang behind home plate at Fenway Park.
Yeah, so we were going with Adidas, and in that group was ourselves, Tommy Run, Drew Whitcomb, Jen from Women's Running.
Genitor.
Yeah, Genitor.
Aaron, who also used to write for Women's Running and Outside Magazine, which still writes for Outside.
Yeah.
And then obviously Jarrett and Brandon and Sam from Roadshow Run.
Oh, that's right. Sam was there. Yeah.
And so we ended up, we were in the overhang. It was a Red Sox versus the Angels, which I was excited about because I'm a huge baseball fan. So seeing Shohei Ohtani was great for the Angels. And
Dude, the way he holds his bat,
yeah.
that's crazy.
I know, but it's like when he swings, it's like one of the sickest swings. He just
Deadly.
looks so nice, and it's so he's just like so good.
I have to say, I am not a huge baseball fan. Like, I like going to the park to drink a beer, eat a hot dog, have fun with my friends.
Yeah,
But this game was probably one of the best games I've ever seen.
it was actually a really good baseball game, and I was actively rooting against the Red Sox since I'm an Orioles fan. But I will say it was cool. There was like some back and forth, lots of scoring, home runs, and
There was a couple of plays I didn't even understand, like how the guy got on base, like the ump interference and stuff.
oh, that was actually very weird. I've never seen that before. There's 3 catcher interferences in one game, which you hardly ever see one.
Like I didn't see anything happen. They did the replay.
It's if the catcher extends the glove too far and the batter swings through and nips his glove with the bat, it's catcher interference and they get the base.
Oh.
So it's like it doesn't happen that often, and I've definitely never seen it happen 3 times in one game. And it was super weird.
Yeah, because you thought oh, he just struck out.
Yeah.
And the next thing he's on base, you're like, what just happened?
Yeah, there's a bunch of that, and then I can't remember if there's any like because baseball has some new rules with like time and stuff like that where they can get a base. But it was a good game. The Red Sox came back in the 8th inning to win, and I will say the way that Fenway's structured, it's like kind of like a tiny like Matchbox park. You know, just everyone's so tight. It's horribly cramped to sit in, but as far as the crowd noise, especially underneath the overhang, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, and so we were right behind home plate, and I stuck to non-alcoholic beers. Did you have, or
I just had 2.
non-alcohol beers? I guess.
Yeah, I just had 2.
Regular beers or okay.
Yeah.
I went with the non. I found that worked really well for me at the running event.
Yeah.
And like I don't want it on my mind that maybe I'm doing anything to sabotage the race.
I get it.
So
But you're still getting your carbs.
yeah, well, I'm getting the baseball feel. I had a hot dog. I had a couple NA beers, and I felt like I was there. The only problem was it started getting really cold.
Yeah, it was. It's
Like by the end of the game,
because it was windy too.
I was chilled.
Yeah.
I was ready to go,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, you were, and I was like, we got to stay to the end.
I know, and so we did.
Yeah.
Which was the smart move because it was an exciting game, especially at the end. And seeing the Boston Red Sox fans like leave in a massive, very happy, like
Yeah.
Boston fans. Which
It's crazy because like every game there sells out, even though they're not doing super great right now. But we're at Camden Yards, you only get sellouts on like opening day and the world like.
I want to make it a goal to go to one of the Orioles games this year.
You should do it. I'm going on Sunday.
All right. And so when we leave, are you taking the kids? Nice. When we leave, we're walking down Boston. We were like, we're going to grab dinner with Adidas, but now everybody's left. Like Tommy, Drew, Jen, all those people, even Sam, they're all gone. And we're like, okay, so everything's packed. So we go into this Chinese restaurant that had open tables.
Yeah. And it was one of those where they had 3 people on staff. One was the cook and one was like the bartender / server. And it was just, we sat at the bar for half an hour?
Yeah.
No one ever came.
No one asked us anything.
And it wasn't that full. There was only like 10 tables.
Yeah. Like it didn't seem like it wasn't max capacity. It wasn't anything like just to be open as a restaurant. You'd think you could handle.
I mean, this is like the one time when they need
Yeah.
to make money because it's like everyone's looking for a restaurant.
Yeah.
They just couldn't do it, which is kind of sad.
We get out. I'm starving at this point. So we leave and I look at my watch and I get a call from Megan or a text from Megan. It's 8.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm out.
He's out.
Like I need to go because I know Megan will turn off the light in the hotel in like a half an hour and then I'll be fumbling around in the dark. So
You made the right move.
well, I did and didn't. So I'll tell them what I had for dinner and then you
Okay.
can tell us what you had for
All
dinner with Adidas. But I went back to the hotel room and in our bags from the convention, there was like an Ensure drink that was like a protein drink.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what you
I had that and 2 bagels from the Carbox for dinner.
Oh, my gosh.
So yeah, protein and 2 bagels.
Where did you guys end up, Robbie?
So we went to this place called Piatini. That was the
Oh,
one where we
that I-
tried to go.
Yeah.
And we still had to wait probably 40 minutes.
Oh my God.
So
now
what time
we're
did you
after
eat?
9,
Ugh.
at least 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I would have been
Yeah,
losing
it'd
my
be after
mind.
9.
And then, but I had this black truffle ravioli. Dude, it was so good. Like, it was really good.
I don't like truffle oil.
I love truffle oil, so that's hit me in the...
Like, so truffle fries are your jam?
Well, oh yeah, for sure. It was ravioli. I pulled it up right now. Ravioli stuffed with black truffle peeling, potato, ricotta cheese, light mushroom cream sauce. It was good.
Happy Robbie. And Brandon and Jarrett with you and Mac from Adidas.
Yep. Yeah. So, and it was just us four, and we hung out there, had some dinner. It was nice, and then that was it for the night.
Lights out.
Next day was a shakeout run with Asics.
Now this, I have to say, this felt like homecoming.
Yeah.
Just because, like, we've done a few shakeouts with ASICs, but so when we roll up, this time we had, like, I could just feel the energy when we were coming in. And I've done this before, so I didn't have any, like, I wasn't like, oh, is this going to pull off? Like, by the time we got there, so the run was going to take place at 8:30. We got there at 7:45.
Yeah, we probably stumbled over there around then.
And it was
8
already
o'clock.
hopping. Like, there was people popping. We had Jarrett from ASICS was out on a megaphone, kind of rallying people
He's
up. From the
always hyping
ASICS
people
fan.
up.
Mac was just. We had a bunch of hats to give away from like our old grit and stuff,
I just went.
and they were just flying out of the van.
It
Yeah.
was cool though because everyone was not only like taking the swag but putting it on
Wearing it,
immediately.
yeah.
So like everyone had BITR gear on.
There was
which was
probably
cool.
some resellers hidden in the crowd.
Yeah.
Trying to.
And we also gave out those junk headbands. I gave them out at the Featherston
That's
Nutrition.
the worst name for a company.
Junk ones, yeah. I handed some of those out at the nutrition thing, but that was like polite. Like people were like, hey, I heard you have the bands. Can I have one, please? Okay, what do you want? And I put them out on the table and people were taking them. I was handing them out, but the crowd was getting so big that I just like gave them all to Jared to take over to the ASICS van. He said before he could put them down, they were like
Oh, I
people were
believe
like
that.
just hands were flying in, just grabbing them.
Yeah, it was pretty sick, and we had that awesome mural, Step and Repeat.
That was so hype. I loved it. Like it was.
Oh, it was the best one in Boston.
It
for
was.
sure.
Yeah.
It came in and it just looked amazing. I thought it matched the branding of the ASICS house pretty well, like the color scheme
Yeah.
and everything like that. It looked dope, and they were doing heat presses with like a few of the illustrations on the thing, and it just I couldn't believe it. Like people were getting it, like purchasing gear and getting it put on their like shorts and getting it pressed on all this stuff. It was awesome.
And yeah, bagels and coffee and everything like that. But then the run itself, I mean, there's a few hundred people for sure.
We had like
yeah.
500 people.
Yeah, there's like 500 people there.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool because on the street itself, Tracksmith was doing their shakeout. Rabbit was going to do theirs next. So Mike, who was leading the Rabbit shakeout, actually came over and hung out for a little bit. So we got to see Kafuzi, which is always a pleasure. We rallied up the crowd. We took ours out. There's people that were running with us that were like, I'm going to start with you, and then I'm going to come back and run Mike's shakeout. Like, I guess they weren't running the race and didn't care how many miles they got.
Yeah.
So the whole street was like this, like amoeba-like mass of humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there was probably, I'd say 1,500 to 2,000 people like runners
sure,
on
yeah.
the street at various events that were like doing different stuff. We ran along the river.
Yeah. It was, it was crazy. And
Robbie wore his Onasuka.
oh, my shirt.
Yeah.
I also I did slightly injure myself on that run, which I never even told you. I was trying to get a good vantage point for the camera, and I climbed up on a light post that was like,
Oh, you hurt your leg?
the base was like 5 feet, and I like bashed my leg on the trying to climb up and like cut my like shin open, like not like badly, but it
You're
did
bleeding?
hurt. It did
I
hurt
thought,
a little bit. Yeah.
You know the marks that I had from the carriage?
Yeah.
He has one of those on his
It
shin.
was just kind of like I hit my leg against it and cut. It wasn't that bad.
Were you like
panicking?
Oh, you can see it right there, but it's not that. It's not crazy.
Yeah.
It's just like
Were you like, this makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, at the time, you know how like when you first do something, you don't feel it, but then later you're like, oh.
Yeah.
So, but I got the camera.
I was like, did you get the photo?
Yeah.
Got the vid?
What's crazy is like the year before we had like 3 or 4 pro athletes with us to do the shakeout. And I think that ASICS is like, they'll be able to get the crowd. We don't need that.
I was actually interested to see, because that's kind of the first one we did
Without Myco.
by ourselves.
Yeah. And I mean, how
cool.
many RSVPs did we have?
Like, I think it was over 600 by the time
Wow.
the event rolled around.
Yeah.
And there was so much going on this weekend. Like, it seemed like everybody was doing.
I think at every hour of both days, there was probably, if not a shakeout run, a panel or something to do.
And there was a lot of people who just came into town just to do that
not
stuff.
running.
Which is pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
We had a guy drive all the way from Maine just to be at our shakeout run. Like he said, it's 3-hour drive from down, did the shakeout run, got back in his car and rode 3 hours back. Yeah.
I would have hung out at least.
Well, no, he hung out.
Oh, okay.
But I'm thinking, you know what we could do if one time we're not running the Boston Marathon, we're down there? We could see if we could do 26.2 miles by running with all the different shakeout groups.
I said that to somebody. I was like, there should be a challenge that's just like the shakeout marathon.
All right.
And you just try to get a marathon from all the shakeout runs.
That's Emily, who we had lunch with, was saying too.
Oh, really?
That's what she wanted to do.
Then it definitely should be a thing.
We could do T-shirts for it. I ran somewhat like Boston.
Yeah.
I ran a marathon in Boston Marathon weekend.
You could do it.
Yeah,
Easily.
Do you think you could do it in one day?
Yeah.
I think if what you just do is be rolling, like so, almost do that loop. You know, like out along the water, come back, grab another
Shakeout run.
go out. Yeah.
Like there were shakeout runs starting as early as 7, and there was ones going on at like 2 p.m. You could easily string
yeah.
And
together.
there's little
Definitely.
groups like you don't even think about. Like there was training groups, people
Yeah.
that were only like 15 people that were like, this is our training group from Oklahoma,
Yeah.
and we're doing a shakeout run.
Right.
So I think it's definitely doable. But tell me how, like Newberry Street is just like you see everybody.
Yeah. I mean, even at our shakeout, there was Laura Green, Kafuzi, Ben Johnson, Brian Metzler. Like everyone who's kind of in running was there, at least like in our realm of running.
Yeah. The only person I was surprised that we didn't see Ashley at the any of the.
I know. I was
she was
texting
doing
her.
a Puma one. I think it was in the
Yeah.
afternoon.
She might have had something. I'm sure she had something else going on.
But like literally, you see everybody. Like also people that we hadn't really spent. I saw Mary from Lift Run Perform. I saw we ran into Allie Feller. We ran into like name somebody that you know of. Oh, Jonathan Levitt. Was there. Like just tons of people. Oh, hella good. We saw.
Yeah, just walking down the street.
Yeah, all the people from like Lou Serafini. I saw Tim West and Tim Rossi.
Was Mrs. Space Cadet there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Aaron.
I think she's cheered me on in the middle of the marathon, but I honestly have no idea. Like
I think she was mid-marathon.
okay, because it was
Heartbreak
I was
Hill.
in a
She was out there cheering.
Yeah, it was that time.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I was in a brain fog and I was like, I think that was her, but maybe
It was,
I just
for
okay.
sure.
You know what was tough though? I saw Stephanie Flippin.
Oh,
And she
really?
cheered me on. Yeah.
Nice.
And like it was good. She was one person that she was screaming my name, and I saw her, and I pointed at her. We locked eyes.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I know I
That was
saw
the
you.
best.
You saw me.
Yeah.
But there was plenty of times where you'd hear your name or something like that, and you'd run past, and it was just so thick
Yeah.
that you couldn't like
Find where
yeah,
locate
where
the
where
voice.
did that voice come
Yeah.
from? Okay, so yeah, let's wrap up this day because we kind of after the event decided to chill.
Well, we went to the CLA pop up, which is we should note.
yeah,
we should
yeah.
note because that's where we got our hats from that we wore
Yeah.
for the race, which are awesome. Oh yeah, flip that.
I do like this hat a lot.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
And you're like, why is it different than any other CLA hat? This one has that like bungee cord closure. In
Yeah,
the
which
back.
I wasn't sure about, but I actually like it.
Here's what I thought was awesome about it. You can loosen it with just a pinch.
Yeah, it's nice.
But when it was windy at Boston, I just
It
did a
tightened it
little
up.
finger pull
Yeah.
and kept it on my head.
Yeah, because I hate, like, actually, you know how every hat has the straps, the nylon straps that you can adjust? I hate those because it's so hard to adjust them on the fly.
Yeah.
Like, But yeah, this is nice.
I don't hate those.
I don't hate them,
but I like this worked out for the day. I couldn't wear this backwards, I think, because it would be drilling that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But yeah.
We'll have that string dangling in front of your eyes.
Yeah, so we
hypnotizing you as you run.
Yeah, that's true. We saw Alex from CLA, and we hung out with him for a little bit. He told us a wild story about, because they did take the bridge with Solomon.
We should actually tell it. Yeah, because it's crazy.
So they have a small bathroom in CLA.
So imagine it's in a basement space. It's like just a big room, and then they like built drywall to make a bathroom.
You're welcome. Third bathroom story of the podcast.
I was thinking that. I was like, I cannot believe.
The Holy Trinity. All right. This one's the best one.
Fit another one.
This is the best one of them all.
Yeah, it is though.
And so they had a party there the night before.
It was Solomon's Take the Bridge with CLA.
Yeah.
So that it kind of had a nighttime race, which we're like, why would anybody come? Like, you definitely can't be running Boston if you're going to run.
I would think not.
A race on the day before, unless you're just a badass.
Yeah, true. So I guess Alex was taking out the trash, and some of it, like, he was emptying one container, like the small bathroom trash can, in another trash bag, and
a used condom fell out on the floor.
Yeah. Which there's only one explanation for that.
Yes.
Well, there's a couple, but they all lead to the same ending.
So here's what we were trying to do. Just if you do some math, this is a person that didn't want to go back to a hotel room. This is a person who planned on having sex, because who goes to a run or a race or something with a condom?
Right. In
like
their split shorts.
Like, what are you carrying? I got my key to my hotel room, a condom. That's it.
Tracksmith should start saying their Van Cortlandts have a condom pocket in the back.
Yeah. Well, it's probably CLA gear that was providing this.
Yeah, the CLA Elite gear.
So this is somebody that the way that I like to think about it, these two people either know each other on Instagram or DMing.
This is your theory?
This is my theory.
Dude, if someone's listening to that banged in the CLA bathroom, please let us know what actually happened.
I don't think they're ever going to let us know, because I think this was a down low.
Yeah, I mean, but this is the crazy thing. That bathroom is in the middle of the room. Like, there's no hallway. It's right there.
Right, but that's the thing. Alex said he was keeping an eye on the door, and he never saw it.
And there's only one. There's one bathroom. There's not a bunch of them. There's one bathroom in the middle of the space.
Okay, so here's what you do. You go in, you don't lock it. And then the other person waits outside like they're waiting. They go in.
And then you do the switcheroo.
Hit the lock. Boom, bang, bop. You out. But, yeah, and you just, one at a time pop out.
Yeah, I guess it could just be a single experience, but that would be even
That's even weirder. Yeah, I don't even want to think about that.
It's like, dude.
But yeah,
you're just trying to check off all 50 states or something.
You don't go to a run like that with a condom unless you're thinking, I'm meeting up. And it's definitely not someone you're dating or anything, because you would just go to your hotel or wherever you're staying. Like, it's got to be down low, right?
I was just thinking something. I don't know. What if it's like somebody who has a condition, like on the run, like there's a lot of friction and stuff, and then like, that's just what happens. And then maybe they came back and were like, okay.
They love running. Yeah, I love running so much.
I was just thinking, what if that was the case? It could be. Okay.
Yeah.
Could it be? No.
No.
All right.
But Alex was like, Alex is very low key and very zen, and he's like, they were very polite. It was like wrapped in a napkin.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, so if that was you, we'd love to hear the story behind it. You can come on,
or honestly, just like if you've done that before, maybe like explain the logistics of it.
Yeah, like, have you ever brought a condom to a race or a
to a pop
shakeout? Yeah, a pop up, literally.
They put the pop in the up. Yeah.
So that was interesting. So after that, we kind of rounded off the afternoon. Did we go back to press?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
with the Running Warehouse crew and Mike Coe.
Oh, we forgot to mention after the shakeout, we did some shooting with Running Warehouse.
Not like actual, but camera. Yeah. We didn't go to the range,
but we did come up with an idea that we might use later that does involve shooting.
Yeah, with like paint.
Yeah, we got to keep it top secret.
Nerf guns. I don't know. So then we shot. Yeah, we shot some content that'll be coming out probably like the next week or two, right? From Running Warehouse.
You never know what them.
That is true. That is true.
Put out the slow stuff.
But then we had lunch again, and then we actually went and walked around Newbury Street for an hour or two.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
Not with me.
No, you guys went back to the hotel. because it's the day before the race. And I didn't realize how tired I was, because you forget how much talking to people for like 2 hours is
It's exhausting.
really tiring. Anyways, so then we kind of just like chilled that night. We did you guys do anything?
We watched a Will Ferrell movie. No.
What were we watching? I don't even remember. We just hung out and got our pizza from 30 Doe Water, as we talked about.
Yeah.
And because I had to get up somewhat early. You guys, not so much.
I got up with you.
So what time
Yeah.
did you go to bed the night before the race?
Like 9:30, 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Went to bed at like 11.
I didn't even take melatonin.
I didn't either, because I didn't have any. Otherwise, I would have.
I did. I
Really?
sure
You
did.
didn't take any? No problem?
Yeah, you did. You took mine.
No, that was the night before.
I don't know. It's all
All right.
a blur.
All right.
All right, whatever.
So sleep was, how'd you sleep?
Like a baby.
Oh,
Are you
I slept like
serious?
trash.
Oh, okay, me too. Good.
Slept like a baby.
Wow. I'm so jealous.
And the night before, I slept like trash too, which was like really the killer, because I was like, oh man.
Mm-hmm.
I know the night before is usually a bad sleep, but
Yeah.
2 nights
Oh,
before, dang.
I had great sleep there. I think so at home, I love Ralphie. But
Sitting on your head.
around I don't know what time it is at night, but at some point in the night he decides to leave his crate and to jump up on the bed. And lately he just loves leaning, like he'll try to tuck into me as tight as he can and then like curl into
He
a
wants
ball.
the body heat.
And like just it's like leaning, like you can feel the pressure.
Yeah.
And it just wakes me up, and then I'm like trying to get comfortable on it. He's on top of the blanket, so I can't move the blanket. So being without him and being in the hotel, and then we had 2 queen size beds in our
Yeah.
place. So Meg and I split up, each took a bed.
Oh.
And so I think between not having her,
Wait, so you should have had our room, but I mean, we're in different hotels.
Yeah.
You should have had a king bed. We should have had 2 queens.
wait a second, you, Brandon, and
Yeah, it was like Willy Wonka
3 of
style.
you were on one bed.
No, just Brandon slept on the pull-out couch. Yeah,
I love it when people say pull out couch.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. So the situations were reversed.
Yeah. We had 2 queen beds. And so I was luxuriating in my own bed. Megan had her own.
Wow.
So I slept like a baby because nobody was like nudging me. I didn't have a dog coming up on me. It was, I did still wake up at like 2:30 or 3 both nights.
Oh, I woke up at 3:30 and couldn't fall back to sleep for another hour and a half. I was just stewing in anger, looking at Brandon sleeping peacefully. Jared heavy breathing. I was like,
What you have to understand about Brandon is anytime he's like sitting still, he falls asleep.
If he's in a vehicle it's just immediately sleep.
yeah, I thought I was pretty good about that, but Brandon takes the cake. He's
Brandon's
like,
a champ.
yeah. So he got like, I don't know, more sleep than my kids get. Like his 12 hours almost. Insane. And then, but yeah, so I got like a little bit more sleep. And then, once you get up around 6, you're like done.
Yeah.
Well, we got up. Meg was getting ready. And so we went and got them all set up for downstairs. Took a picture of you.
Yeah, so
Feathers,
I
and
met
Jess.
Chapin and Megan Featherston down in the lobby, and then we just walked over to the buses at like
And
6:30.
Jess Mofel.
Oh, she was down there, yeah. We said hi.
Yeah. Oh, she didn't go with you guys?
No.
Oh.
And then, so you got what time did you get the buses?
By the time we got over there, it was like 7. By the time we got on a bus, it was like 7:15 or something, which was funny because Mike Coe and Tommy were texting me, and they were meeting like almost an hour earlier than I was getting there.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what? Like, why are they?
Yeah.
And they were like, when we ended up running into them as soon as we got to Athletes Village, and they were like, we were worried you weren't going to make it. And I was like, we still have an hour. Like,
Right.
what are you guys doing?
I kind of like that because I'm used to going to bed late at night and stuff. So I was like, this is my perfect race scenario. I love this.
Well, what was good for me is since I woke up with her, I like having like an hour or 2 before I run, like to drink coffee, hang out. So when I dropped them off, I was able to go to the Starbucks in our hotel.
Uh-huh.
I was able to get a breakfast sandwich, and I still had coffee. So I ended up like sitting on the bed drinking a little coffee before I had to start getting ready for my stuff because we didn't have to meet until 9:15.
Mm-hmm.
So I had some time, but still kind of like panicked because I was like switching. Like, do I wear tights?
Or we met at 8:15, but we got the bus at like 9:15.
How long was the bus line for you guys? Was it long?
No, I don't think so.
No, we were there before they were letting our wave in, and then they're like, "Your wave can go."
Oh,
We went right up to a bus before they loaded it,
Yeah,
and then we were in.
It's pretty good.
that's nice.
I mean, I gotta say, the logistics for that race, for how crazy they are insane. Like, so well done. Like, it was pretty much flawless.
I have to say,
from front to back.
the whole experience of the Boston Marathon
Yeah,
is phenomenal.
yeah. Like the expo, everything is just like it's how it should be.
The whole city feels like it's running the Boston Marathon.
Oh yeah.
Everything about the town, the city, it's like
Like
this is our week.
Yeah, like everybody buys in it. It's not like other cities like Baltimore is treated as a nuisance.
Yeah.
They're actually like, proud to have
Right.
it. Yeah.
They're proud to have it, but it's also like everything is Boston. Like every storefront is Boston. Like you would think that this was an amusement park for running.
Yeah.
Like
right.
this, like you just went to Disney, and every weekend they're gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
Load up the buses, let you run. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, that'd be a great idea for an amusement park.
Yeah.
Like you could run a marathon every weekend.
So Megan Featherston had VIP through Abbott, and she still came on the yellow buses with me.
Wow.
Yeah,
What a
that's a true
gem.
friend right there.
Well, I have to say, I think Jen, who wanted to run with us, Jen Scrimani, she had a VIP bus, so she stayed on that. I think that was a mistake because it wasn't that bad. We got off our bus. It was raining, so we had
Let's talk about the bus ride a little bit.
okay,
It was raining on the way.
hard.
They left the sky. They had the skylight open on the bus.
But do you know why they had that? Like, because a girl asked me to close it behind me, and
Yeah,
I
'cause it's-
basically said no.
Oh wow, I would have.
You
probably
could have
said
closed
yes.
Yeah, you could close it. No, because you know what it was? That was the only vent for all our breath.
I know, but they could.
You can open
Put your
windows.
windows down.
No, because the windows actually will make you colder.
You could put them slightly down. Dude, I was freezing, and it was
I
rain.
offered-
There was actual rain coming in. Like people were putting on their ponchos. They wouldn't get wet.
I asked the girl if she
In
wanted.
the bus.
Yeah.
The woman behind me was like, "Oh, that's why it's so cold. The vent is open. Yeah, can you see if someone will close that?" First off, it was like 3 seats up from me. I'm like, "Wait, you would like me to get up and take care of this for you, ma'am?" I was like, "If you have a problem."
I would have put it down. Honestly, if I was sitting on the outside, I would have gone and put it down.
So anyway, so I'm like, they left it open so that we're not all sitting here stuffy with everybody's breathing.
I
And
mean,
I said, if you want to borrow,
I know
I
the
have
reason, but it was raining inside.
I'm like, I have a poncho if you'd like to borrow it. And I would have let her borrow the poncho. She's like, no, it's okay. But you could tell that she was destroyed. Anyway,
Wow. I don't know how I feel about that.
which part?
I think we should have closed it
Why?
because
I don't want to smell everybody.
it was freezing in there,
Wasn't that bad? And you're going to be out in the cold all day.
and it was yeah, but you're not supposed to get cold before the race. Anyways, it was seriously raining inside. Anyways, so we got to the start, and then it stopped raining. Or I'm sorry, we went under the tent, and then like to what? How long were we under the tent?
I
Half
don't
an
know.
hour.
There was a minute where I was like, oh no. Because it was like, the sky just opened up. It was like,
Oh yeah,
and we're
torrential
like, oh crap, we're
downpours.
going to be.
It's so crazy because
Yeah, where were you at?
we
She's almost at the finish of that.
our races were so different, you know, just because the weather was so wild. Like Megan Featherston got hailed on. I didn't get hailed on.
What?
She was 3 minutes behind me or something, maybe 5.
Actual hail?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So we got really lucky, and it didn't start raining for us. Like, so we hung out in Athletes Village for probably like an hour. But that was really fun because we were with like Mike and Lance and all these guys, and it was just like
Yeah, and the
a fun
tent wasn't
time.
bad.
Yeah,
I put my poncho down.
it was
and we
warm
sat
in
on
there.
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, I got another bathroom.
I
story.
did too. That's why I was so excited when
Oh my god.
All right, let's go.
But yeah, so we lucked out, and it didn't start raining on us until like we were in our corral, and then it started to like do the big raindrops,
Yeah.
like one at a time, and then as soon as we started running, it was like it hit us.
So that might have been when we were driving up
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
because it was right around 9 or so.
Yeah.
So Megan, when you got to the porta potties, how long were the lines?
So we didn't need to use the ones in Athletes Village. We just waited until, you know, the stop
Start.
right before the start. And there wasn't a line because we were like the third wave or the third group or whatever.
But if you were to use the one in Athletes Village,
How long were those lines?
they were not long when we were there.
they were long.
When we got there, they were quite long.
So did you guys use bushes?
No.
Something better.
Yeah. they have a whole men's section of stand-up urinals.
Oh yeah, I saw those.
It was the most amazing thing
Why aren't
ever.
those everywhere?
Well, then I was like, why can't we have lady porta potties that aren't gross?
Yours
for
are
you
the port-
guys?
Yours are
No,
the
but you
porta
use
potties.
them too.
I know you should. Yeah,
We
I'm
deserve
with
our
you.
own.
Yeah, but if
What-
we were all using the stand-up ones for going number one, just think about how much cleaner the bathrooms would be
True.
for you.
But this, I mean, I think it's a space thing because there was four spaces on one tower for the dudes.
So
Yeah.
4 dudes can go all at the same time.
And they probably had, 7 of those in each thing. So there was like 30 bathrooms.
So
right
wait,
there.
so the porta potty lines were crazy, but you just walked right into the urinals?
Yes, and
No.
not only that, Robbie went twice,
maybe 3 times.
maybe 3 times.
Because it's convenient, and why not?
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
it was
awesome.
like walk up, boom. I don't know why those aren't everywhere.
Yeah, that
No
is
door.
just- I didn't even know they existed in the world. I was like,
I don't
this is
remember them
amazing.
being there last year. I think they were new this year.
Wow. Someone just invented that maybe and is just
Why?
sitting
That
on.
seems like the simplest
Yeah.
solution to
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you just have to pee.
Yeah, and what was crazy though is that they had all those the amazing bathrooms set up, and yet still, remember a quarter mile into the race,
Same.
all the dudes are pulled off into the woods.
I saw the same
that
thing,
hill.
and I was like, you had so many opportunities. Like, what? Why now?
You just started the race literally 2 minutes ago,
Right.
And you're pulling off to piss in the woods.
Like, you should have not started. You should have just waited.
Like, it made 0 sense to me.
I don't know what your start was like, but ours, since we were in the way back,
Yeah.
we were almost the last corral. We're like number 8 out of 9. And we tried to meet up with Jen, but Jen couldn't get cell service. So it's just Robbie, myself, and Brandon. And when it starts, it is slow moving and it's thick.
Yeah.
So there was 2 ways you could go about it. You could be patient and just kind of wait for openings and speed up a little bit, but it was kind of like almost like an accordion, like your pace was going up and down, up and down. And Rob and Brandon and I ran together till about the 5K mark, and then I think you got antsy.
I think honestly, I think we stayed till almost the 5 mile mark.
Okay.
So we had a group, like you know how I was like recruiting people into this 245 pack. And so we got into the corral and there was a solid group of us. And I was like, this is going to be awesome. We start running and it's packed. And Ben Johnson he has 0 chill for that nonsense. So he just takes the lead and I'm like, well, I can't lose him.
Stayed on
And
it.
so Chapin and I, within half a mile, the pack went from like 15 to the 3 of us.
Oh, damn.
And so we lost pretty much everyone after the first
Well,
mile.
what was tough is like I had to make a decision. And so Robbie was doing like surges, but then when you'd surge,
Yeah, you get
he would
walled.
get caught behind 4 people and you'd have to. So it was like driving me nuts because I didn't want to surge and then stop, surge and stop. So I was just like, screw it. It'll open up. I'm just going to kind of like go at a steady pace and pass people when we can. That's the crazy thing. Starting where we started, the entire race, we're passing people.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Yeah, for sure. So let me just look at our first 3 miles here: 9:46, 9:56, 9:46, and that was we couldn't
We
go.
were jammed in.
We couldn't go
Yeah.
any faster.
Yeah.
and that's why I was. Yeah, I mean it was almost hurt to go that slow.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's slow, just for
What you're
however you
used
run.
to.
Yeah.
When you're filled with adrenaline and
Yeah.
wanting to get to the finish
And I
line.
wasn't trying to bomb. I was just like, 9 minutes, like a minute faster would be nice. And
I didn't look at my watch the whole time. I said to Brandon, because Brandon came back, he's like, Robbie's going. I said, Robbie's looking at his watch. He's like anxious.
yeah, and then we like going up. You know how it was like some rolling hills, mostly downhill, but sometimes you'd go
That
up a
was
little
the
hill.
other thing. It would slow down.
And it was actually walking pace, like speed walking, like power
Yeah.
hiking pace. And I was like, this is crazy. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah. So, but that like I just didn't want to do the like the heavy weaving. So I was like,
No,
it'll open up sooner or
I
later.
wasn't trying to weave, maybe a little bit, but I was like trying to maintain a straight line, but just
Right.
pass people when there's a gap.
The problem was like if you shot through a gap, then everybody shifted. So either somebody tried to shoot in behind you, or the 2 people that you shot the gap would all of a sudden start closing in. It was like playing Tetris.
Oh man, and then just the amount of people that cutting you off, not just at water stations, but just like randomly just entering your line.
Dude, I'm telling you,
Drifters.
the handheld was so money to avoid all of that for the
Okay.
first like
What do you mean? For the water station?
Yeah.
Oh.
And people probably want to know.
yeah.
I did run with a handheld. I did enjoy it. I would recommend it. I skipped. So that was one way that I could kind of like, instead of surging, when it got to the first couple water tables, people pulled off the side. I just went outside and was able to like gain a lot of ground. So that lasted probably for the first, I want to say 7 miles until I drank all the,
You drank all yours?
yeah,
Wait, what do you mean? Why would he not?
Well,
because it's like 17 ounces of water.
it's a lot to get down. I made the terrible mistake of making my scratch too strong.
See, I only use 1 scoop.
I did too, but I don't know what happened. It was too strong, and it was giving me that nauseous feeling like I had at Donna last year, and I was like, I can't keep doing this. So I was like, Ben, the next water stop, can you help me? And so I dumped out half, and then he got water cups and poured them into
This is why he's running a 6:15 pace.
yeah. And he's pouring them into my bottle, and it made it like so much better.
Wow.
But I still, for whatever reason, I carried it until after Heartbreak Hill.
Oh no.
And then I tossed it, and I was like, why was I holding on to this for so long?
I went through it, but what I did is every time we went past the water table, it was like my cue to like drink.
Yeah.
So I would take like an ounce or two. I guess maybe it lasted a little longer, but and then Brandon, since it was cold, I'm wearing just a singlet and 3-inch shorts. That's it. And I have
Same.
toss away gloves. Brandon started the race. He was feeling a little cold. He put his singlet over the top of like a zip up, like polar fleece, like top,
Yeah.
and wore like joggers.
Yeah.
Like had joggers on.
I would have done the same if I wasn't running fast.
But I trust me when I say it wasn't that cold
We
at
warmed
that
up
time
pretty
in the
quick.
start line. Like I had the same thing on as Thomas, and usually I'm pretty cold. I felt great the whole time, pretty much.
We were in body heat also
Yeah.
because like we were packed in. But so we're running. Brandon is able to take off the jacket underneath his singlet while running.
Yeah.
Like,
Fold
David.
an arm in.
It's like
fold an
David
arm in.
Blaine.
Yeah, no, like this was tougher than you'd think. He gets it off. He's like, yeah. And then the only time we stopped at all on the course is I finally did have to take a piss. So I pulled off to the side, and that's when he's like, I'll take off my things. Nice to be running with Brandon because, like, if I'm running with Jared or you, like, I'd probably have to stop if I wanted to stay with you. And, you know, because you're not going to run a 6-minute mile to catch up with me.
Right.
He's like, no, just go, and I'll catch up. So I finish my business. I go running. Before you know it, Brandon's had the time to take off his shoes, take off his sweatpants, put back on his shoes, retie his shoes, and come back and catch me. And be like, okay,
I would have been more worried about finding you than catching up.
That's true.
No, I just stayed I was like, I'll stay
Okay.
right here and just go straight.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and then that was we could just I guess skip ahead. So yeah, I separated from you, and then I was like, I'll just find like a pace that feels pretty good to me that I feel like I can hold for a decent amount. And that was like just under 8 minutes. And so that was like for 10 miles, except for the Wellesley Tunnel mile. That was my fastest mile of the race.
You get pumped up.
Yeah, because I could hear him coming. I was just like, I just want to get to there.
They seemed louder this year than last
Really?
year. Like my ears were ringing.
I expected more people for how loud they were. Like I
Right.
could hear them about a half mile away.
Yeah.
And then when you get to them, I was like, it's
They're
just
making
these
that
people
noise, yeah.
making
Yeah.
this much noise.
I will say I was confused a little bit because I thought in my mind that it's called a tunnel. It would be on both sides of the road.
Scream tunnel.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was more like a scream wall.
Yeah.
That, to the side of
True.
it.
That also did confuse me because I was like, this can't be it. It's a tunnel.
Yeah.
No, it was just a wall.
But I don't think they were giving kisses out while we were there. They were giving like blowing kisses.
I think that's what you do now after the pandemic.
Yeah, they do like kiss high fives.
Yeah.
Didn't you say you saw some people though? I wasn't actively looking for it. I was just, this is an observation.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Someone told me they were, when they went through, they were actively PDA.
I saw people over there, but I didn't pay any attention to like what they were actually.
I was high fiving the whole way for sure.
I figured you were.
Yeah,
I know you like
I do love the high fives. That helps me out like a lot. when I'm feeling tired.
Yeah, I don't want to touch people.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd probably touch. Sounds weird.
Wait, so that mile was faster than mile 15, where you have that like severe downhill right before the Newton Hills?
Let's see. 50, yeah, that mile was like that was my fastest mile.
Wow.
And then I just kept the next 2 miles like at the pace I was going, and then it was the Newton Hills. So
Did you guys like that there was the signs like now you're entering the Newton Hills?
I did like that.
I don't know if I saw. I didn't see those.
They were literally everywhere.
Yeah, I like that. And I also like the
Honestly, I had no idea when I was like,
There
I
was
don't know
like
if I'm
giant
running.
white flags on all sides and a thing over the top, and it's like you're now entering the Newton
Yeah,
Hills.
definitely didn't see that.
Okay.
he's probably high-fiving some kissing lady. Anyway, so what I really liked was because we went and covered Jordan Troph,
Yeah.
I knew that hill. Uh-huh. Okay. And it's like, I think it's the second one.
It's the second one. It's mile 17.
Right. Oh, real quick. The reason that downhill mile wasn't my fastest was because I took a minute bathroom break. So that's why
That'll do
It
it.
says it's an 8:20, but I think it was closer to like a 7:20. Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy. So I didn't even look at my splits. I don't even know what they are. But we ended up going, getting to that hill. So I knew that one was coming. So when the first one hit, I go, okay, 17, I know what that one is. And that one seems harder than this one. Mm-hmm. That first one was pretty long though.
The first one just kind of slaps you in the face.
Yeah. But we were running at a really conservative pace, so I felt like it didn't hurt. Like I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I knew that when I hit the hills, I was going to like not worry about pace, just kind of get up them. Mm-hmm. So we get to the mile 17 one, and that one seemed really long.
Well, it's kind of like a double one too, because you have that long climb and then like a little bit of a down and then another climb.
Well, that's the thing that I don't think people talk enough about is how great those downhills feel.
Oh, they're so good.
So yeah, while you climb up and you slow down your pace, you make it up like almost immediately.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's so long that, like, it's long enough like that you can get to the top and then enjoy it down. You know what I mean? Like, you're not. I don't know. I guess if you're going all out,
That's
for
the only thing
sure.
think,
I get
like,
it.
If you were trying to maintain, like, say that you were going, I want to hold a 720 pace.
Yeah,
The whole time, they would crush you.
Right.
Not you, Megan, because you run a 615 or whatever. But so when I got to it, and even like I'm running with Brandon, he was nice enough to humor me and run with me, even though he hasn't done any training. So I don't know how taxing it was or wasn't for him. But we get there and like literally on, I think it was mile 17. Like I'm running, but it's running at like.
You could basically be walking.
A little faster than
Okay.
that, but Brandon's looking back and you can tell he was gaining ground without trying to gain ground. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just I'll catch you on the other side.
Yeah, and then I didn't know what mileage the hills were at, and so I couldn't really count. I didn't know what constituted as hills or not. I was like, I don't know if I just ran Heartbreak. I don't think I did.
Yeah, you're like, what? Is that it?
Yeah, because I knew there was the Heartbreak Hill Running Company, but I didn't know if that was like at the beginning or
the end.
after or at the top or what. I think it was before, before, right?
It's before
But-
the last one.
I just remember that they have a giant sign at the top of Heartbreak that says "You conquered
Gotcha.
Heartbreak
See,
Hill."
we didn't know that though. This is our first time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny because this guy he was foreign because he had an accent, as far as I know. But he was like, "Hey, can you tell me did we run the last of the hills?" And I said, no, we're not at mile 20. I know Heartbreak is around mile 20. And he
21.
was like, okay, thanks.
So I ththought it was like a mile 19. And this is the other thing that threw me off was that I asked one of the water station people when Heartbreak Hill, she said, yeah, it's coming up. And it was the second hill that was coming up.
Yeah.
And I was like, for real?
There was
Do
so
me like
many
that?
people after the third hill. They were like, "That was Heartbreak," and we were all like, "No, that was not."
Like in the race?
Yeah, like so many of the runners.
Yeah.
they all think that the third one is Heartbreak because it is. I guess it's like 19 or 20, but Heartbreak's just past that.
I mean, it does come really late in the race because, your watch is a little bit off too.
Right.
So it's like 20.7 or something.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, this is the first marathon because I wasn't really looking at my watch that I lost track of miles. I was like, are we at 14 yet? And Brandon's like, no, we're coming up on 15.
Well, that's cool.
That's always the
I
best.
loved it. And that happened like 3 times where I was like, I thought I was like mile 17. I'm like, no, we're at 19. I was like,
Nice.
we're at 19? Like, cool. And then it was just the thing I wasn't prepared for was once you finish Heartbreak, this turns into an incredible course to just close.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's almost entirely downhill.
Now, my splits would look like we slowed at the end, but we came up with a mission since we weren't concerned with our finish time so much. We ran into a friend who was struggling a little bit, and we were like, we're not going to leave you. We're going to take you in, which turned out to be maybe one of my best running experience I've ever had, just because we had so much fun closing out this marathon. Like,
Yeah.
we were totally involved with the crowd. We were like waving our arms to get the noise up. We were, just doing stuff. And it is true when you feel like you're helping someone else, like everything went away from me. I felt like I could have run 6-minute miles at that point. And I was just like having fun, just doing it. I don't know what the last 3 were like for you, but.
Oh, well, the mile 24 and 25, I was running for at least 10 years. I literally, it was like those vortexes where you're just like, you looked at your watch and it was like 0.1 miles a pass. I was like, I have been running for a half an hour.
This is at mile 24?
Like, legitimately. Oh yeah, I just felt
like those flew by.
No, that one stretch that's just straight, that feels like it goes on forever.
I was watching Kafuzi's video and I was like, it kind of the parts where he was like,
Yeah.
that's where
Yeah.
I was like, man,
Oh, that's so weird.
it was like
Yeah,
once I was doing the tricks where you just like look at a sign and be like, I just got to get to that sign. And then
Oh, that's so crazy.
Well, and I think the other thing that's kind of misleading is everyone's like Sitco sign, 1 mile to go. No, you can see the Sitco sign when you have like 1 3/4 to
See,
go.
I didn't know they said Sitco sign 1 mile to go.
Yeah, that's
I actually didn't know that either, which
Where-
would have made me more angry.
Okay. Also, because, and again, maybe I need to have Robbie do this next time. Doing the ride, the bike ride, and knowing kind of
Yeah.
like when we rode up that area, like when I saw the trains and the stuff, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I kind of know where I am. And then also I ran the 5K that one year, so I knew that last bit of the course,
Oh,
like that
okay.
under the bridge, like when you do the underpass and come back up.
it feels like such a hill at that moment.
Yeah, I actually didn't mind that part for
No,
some
'cause you're like,
reason because I
you're
knew it was
so
I knew it was
close.
really close. Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely, the race lives up to the hype. The course is amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it. I think I'm wondering, because we did kind of like, we didn't care about the pace and we got to and we were like even less caring about it. I was ready to rip at the end. I'm like, what would have happened if I did rip? Would have I had a totally different experience where I was like, like you think you can go and do something, but like until you do it, you don't know. And I'm like, what have I been totally destroyed?
I don't know. Yeah. With a mile left, I felt like everything came back, and then that, especially when you turn left onto Boylston, I was like everything. You
It
felt like
feels
you could
slightly
run as
downhill.
fast as you
Yeah.
could.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so crazy. And I did want to say that the people, like, there's a lot of people, how you're talking about you cheering you on, like
Yeah.
didn't make eye contact with. Remember, there's like, I don't think you saw
The
him.
guy made the sign.
Yeah, the guy had like believe sign.
I saw that.
Kafuzi Run Club sign. It's
Yeah.
like mile 19, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. That was awesome. There was a handful of people just like that that would call us out and make eye contact or whatever. It was awesome.
I was also obviously running with Ben Johnson the whole time, so I got my own shout outs, but being with him, it was like
Oh,
a
right.
full-on celebrity, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
everyone's screaming for him. And
Well, it was kind of funny because I didn't feel it as much. And then when we finished, Jen, who we ran in with, Jen was like, everybody knows who you are. I was like, I didn't hear it. But yeah, it was fun. I think that we get, we've become, have so many friends now through what we do. And
Yeah.
Like people that we connect with, that it just is it's great to be out there and see people. And
Yeah. Oh, one other note that I had was I forgot that I think this is like at least the half marathon mark. There is I think I told you that, maybe both of you, but there's like a heckler on somebody who was heckling runners. Like it was like a bystander, and there's a guy with me who's running with like gloves on and like long sleeve.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
you told me about that.
And this guy's like, he's like, yeah, toughen up. He's like, toughen the fuck up. You're in fucking Boston. Like, he's like, take your fucking gloves off. Like yelling at this guy to take his gloves off because he literally says, he's like, this is Boston. Toughen up. And
Was he sane?
What?
Was this a sane human being?
Yeah, he was just like a classic, like, you know how like I feel like Philly and Boston people were kind of the same.
Yeah.
He was just like bash this dude for wearing gloves during the race, like as he's running uphill and like I think it was the beginning of the Newton Hills. I'm like, dude, that's messed up.
You know what
That's
though?
rough.
It's actually pretty good because it would get me out of my head. Like if I was like
Yeah.
my legs hurt or something, but I'd be like, screw that guy. I like my gloves.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it was happening.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it pretty much came in and we finished up. Meg, you had a PR.
Like 30 seconds or something like that.
I feel
So
like
we'll
you need to
count it.
celebrate this PR more than you've actually been letting on. That's crazy.
I just had different hopes and expectations in my head, and this hurt so much more than last year. Like I just never felt great.
Okay.
So it's hard.
Do you have any thoughts why?
Yeah. I'm tired AF.
This
This is my 5th marathon in 7 months.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Well,
I forgot you did Houston too.
Yeah, it was funny because somebody said, "Oh, 2 majors in a row." And I was like, "Well, actually, I ran London, New York, Tokyo, Boston."
Oh, you didn't run Houston, but
Oh, well, Houston, I was supposed to. I ran the half.
Meg did. Yeah.
Yeah, because I got injured. I wonder why. Running all the time.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So I was like, "Oh, we can relax," but no, we're going to Brooklyn in a month. So, yeah. And by the way, we ran in the Adidas. Oh wait, so Megan got a 2:47:10, which is even if you don't know running, you know that's like ridiculous.
And can we talk about how she could have been first to the track house at Tracksmith?
Oh, that hurts. That probably hurts more than the time.
Who beat you there? Emily Coogan?
That's not a person.
Her name is Rachel Coogan.
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's an Emily Coogan out there.
Yeah.
Rachel Coogan, who's
So there's this-
probably Coog style.
Well, there's Elish Coogan, who's a different person. Yeah.
There's this whole thing that Tracksmith does that if you're the first person back to the store after the race, they give you like an award.
You get a robe.
Yeah.
You get your name on a plaque.
And so we were sitting in the airport on the way home yesterday, and Robbie is like, "Could you have won the Tracksmith? Have you gotten there first?" And I was like, probably not. It's Boston. The field is stacked.
For sure. Yeah.
And so we look up this woman who made it there first, and she ran a 2:49. So I had a 2-minute head start. I clearly could have gotten there.
Yeah.
And now I have all the regrets.
You would have got that robe.
I know.
Your name engraved on the trophy.
I could have been someone.
Glory.
And this is the first year they had that trophy too. So you would have been the inaugural.
Yep.
Honestly, I feel sad for you. Like,
I feel
because
sad.
I know you actually would have wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And it was downpouring, so it would have been like epic to just run over there while it's just pouring rain. Yeah.
Man. All right. Well, we won't talk about it anymore. But you ran in the Alpha Fly 1, right?
Yeah, the original. It's the same shoe I was wearing last year too.
Yeah, it's funny because you look at her photos and they're like, oh, one day was sunny, one day was rainy,
This
but
again.
same outfit.
Oh, we should say before we talk about our shoes, shout out to Allie Feller,
Oh yeah.
who was
Oh, yeah,
announcing
you guys got
announcing the
shout-outs.
finish line.
So we last week had done our check-ins, and I had done my check-ins for Allie because she's training for Eugene Marathon. So every check-in was a check-in for Allie, and she seemed to appreciate it. And when we were finishing, and I know she did the same thing for you, she said, "Robbie, this is your final check-in,"
Yeah.
or something like that.
I'm so jealous that I
So-
didn't get that.
Yeah, so she was announcing the finishers crossing the line like from the top, and you could hear over the loudspeakers.
Yeah.
And yeah, just hearing that as you're like crossing the Boston Marathon, you can hear it. You know, there's
It's echoing
plenty of
through
there's
the
a lot of
streets.
people finishing.
Were
and
you
it's like
ready for
you're-
it?
I was.
Because I think I would have maybe even missed it, even if I.
I think
It
I
did
remember
happen.
you said she was gonna try to,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
so I think I was kind of like listening for it.
She said that she was going to try to. So when I came down, I knew that if she was, because they take shifts, I knew if she was on that shift, I was going to get it. So when I heard her say,
Oh, okay.
when I heard her say, And here comes Thomas, or this is your final check-in, Thomas Newberger for the or whatever,
Yeah.
So it was awesome, and she still had enough time to give a shout out to Jen Scrimeni, who I crossed the line. Here's a weird thing. So I have all these photos. Brandon and I ran the entire race from start to finish. All my photos are with Jen.
And that's so funny.
Like I have Brandon's not in any of. There's a couple photos with Brandon, but it's we ran 26.2 miles together, and Jen and I ran 3 miles together. Jen's in every photo with me.
That's funny. Yeah, that was. I mean, honestly, hearing that crossing the finish line was crazy. It's so nice.
How many people
makes me want to cry thinking about it.
How many people will ever get that? Think about
Boston. Don't be crying.
Dude, I almost cried 5 times in the last couple miles.
That's so weird because normally I'm emotional in the marathon stuff. And this one, I was just elated with joy, but not the joy of breakdown cry joy.
What were you gonna say, Meg? I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
Oh, I interrupted you.
It probably wasn't that important.
It's probably the shout out about Feller.
Oh, I was just gonna say how first of all how many people run Boston Marathon? That's a small amount of people, but then get a custom announcement as you're crossing the finish line. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Allie, you are a phenomenal human.
Now, someone did take video of me finishing, and I love it, but they're yelling so loud you can barely hear Allie in the background. So I was like, thank you for the video. I can't. But they're like, Thomas. I'm like,
that's funny.
You can hear Allie in the background. But yeah, no, it was awesome.
Oh, and Jarrett was our photographer for the day.
We give Jarrett a lot of shit.
He did such a good
He
job.
killed it this whole weekend.
Yeah.
He didn't take one down step of me. Jarrett, you win. That is the
Jarrett
best.
was at the finishing stands shooting photos, which
I did
he's not even a photographer, and he did a really good job.
Yeah.
Okay, also, because you guys started so much later, we were done, obviously, way earlier. And Megan and I immediately wanted to go to the bar. And so Jarrett came to the bar with us and got a drink and then was looking at his watch the whole time. He's and I was tracking you guys, and I was yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go back and take photos. So he left the warmth to go back out in the rain.
My favorite though is he took a
guys.
picture and he put it on his Instagram. He says, I don't know how this happened or how I got so lucky. I'm because we gave you a press pass. That is how
I filled out a form for you.
That is how this happened, and that is why you were there. But yeah.
Well, yeah, but
he's being
I think
sentimental.
That was figuratively speaking.
Oh. No, because he's I'm at the finish line of the Boston Marathon. And I don't know how this happened or how I got so lucky.
Yeah, you know what he's saying.
No, I was you got a press pass.
Okay. Anyways, he checked us into our flights and got us A boarding for Southwest. That's might be the most impressive thing of all.
I
would have forgotten about
Robbie
that.
should hire him. Whenever we go on a trip, you should just give him a slice of pizza or something. Be check me in.
Yeah, maybe. And he got us 4 Tracksmith posters because we had to leave before.
What a gem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Robbie, I noticed during the marathon, you had a little leakage.
Yeah, well, we both did of different kinds,
Yeah.
which is so weird.
I think mine was self-inflicted. I don't think it was because of the singlet.
Yeah, so if anyone saw our pictures on Instagram or anything like that, there was our singlets were red tinged in certain spots.
We looked like we were in a battle, but just our nipples.
It actually looked kind of like part of the singlet at that point.
I know.
And I've had some nipple carnage before, in the Falmouth Road race.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that was from the pins where
I think that's also you sweat. And
Yeah.
and if it dries, you get that salty sand.
I mean, I think I have a particularly hard region there in the nipples.
Your areolas are very hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I think you can see them through that Believe in the Run hoodie sometimes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, which is crazy. So I might be a genetically,
Predisposition.
maybe a little bit of a user error there with as far as not treating them as they should be. So I would always put liquid Band-Aid on because it's just like a candy coated shell, just hardens, just protection.
I'll have to try that.
But if you miss a spot, you're not in good shape.
Yeah.
Because I don't like doing the KT tape or because it just hurts so much to pull them off.
Mine,
know what I mean?
My bleeding looked pretty bad. I look like I got shot in the shoulder.
Yeah. So what happened with yours? Because yours wasn't your nipple. It was
No,
It was that logo.
I don't even think it was a logo. I think what happened was I think I had like a little scratch on me previously.
Okay.
And I felt like I was picking it the night before, so I may have like picked open
really?
something, and then it didn't bother me. It wasn't like a
Right.
deep scratch or anything like that, but it did line up exactly where the Adidas logo was on the singlet. And I think whatever it was just tore that back open.
Okay.
And then I think with the rain, it probably looked worse than it was. I did notice one of my nipples did actually have some blood on it too. But I didn't feel it.
That's the weird thing is that if I'm doing just like a normal run, I can feel that. But during the race, I didn't even know until I had crossed the finish line. I looked down and you're just like, oh, I guess that happened.
What about in the shower?
A little bit, but it's not the worst thing ever. So I don't know. I think it always like looks way worse like in photos.
Well, no,
It's just
sometimes
like-
it is bad. I've had nipple chafing where you're like every step you take, it just feels like you're getting through a cheese grater.
That's the weird thing.
This
I
one, I
only
didn't even
feel like
feel.
that's in like a 7-mile run in the summertime that happens. But like in a race, I just never noticed
Never
it
does
happen.
it.
'Cause I think because everything else hurts.
Yeah, no, I felt it in a race before.
Oh, okay.
Liked it. But at least you're not thinking about your legs.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's what happened there. So if you have any, I feel like we've gotten like 30 different recommendations on our Instagram, and I'm going to ignore all of them.
I don't know. Jeff Dengay had a good one. I might check that.
What was it?
3M.
3M.
Oh, I knew.
something else.
That's right. I knew he's a big fan of those. Because he told me about that like 3 years ago when it happened. And I just never paid attention to it.
Yeah. I'll have to
Which
check that out.
is exactly
it
what
the
I'm
tape? Is it the tape you like, the 3M tape? Because I tried that. That doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
Comes off for me anyway.
I'm definitely still going to do the same thing, and then have people just give me recommendations the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can do what I normally do is wear a black singlet.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think I've seen it in the past because
Yeah.
I wear black.
Yeah, I'm just too lazy about that stuff. But all right. And you would think it would like scar and like build up like a
It does, but then
ability to not do it.
Here's what happens. Mine, I get tough ones, and then the summer comes and I run without a shirt. And they aren't used to being beat up, and they get sensitive again, and then they get ripped up in the fall.
But I don't run without shirts. I don't know. Anyways,
Let's talk about the shoe real quick.
Yeah, so we wore the Adidas Adios Pro
3.
Adizero Adios Pro 3, which, by the way, just saying, I don't know if it's because of us or what, but Adidas did go 1, 2, 3 on the men's side in the same shoe.
Yeah, and they had one of the second place women.
Okay, yeah.
I have to say I love the shoe. And like when we first got it last year, I wasn't like thrilled with it. I thought it felt a little bottom heavy. I love this shoe so much that after the race, I was so excited when we finished. I didn't even go back and shower. I got like a sweatshirt and went back to the.
Thomas never showered.
So wait, this is the best. We'll get to this.
You sound like me, dude.
So I know normally I'm very clean, but I didn't shower. So I came back down to the bar. I didn't change my shoes. I had my shoes on. When we decided we wanted to go to dinner, I put on some sweats, put the shoes back on because I was like, these feel so good that I just want to keep these on.
Yeah.
Went out to dinner. So later the next morning, Meg's giving me a hug, and I'm laying in bed, and so she's just kind of sitting. She's like, "You feel kind of clammy," and I was like, "Oh, I haven't showered since before the marathon." I
was like, "This is
she jumped up
disgusting."
so fast, like her head was on my chest, and she was like, "Oh, relax." She jumped up so fast, you would have thought like there's radioactive material there.
I mean, you definitely had mud on you because we were.
Yeah.
That's
on
amazing.
my calves and stuff.
Yeah.
I had mud.
That's awesome. Yeah, the shoes were. So remember I had like the lacing problem the week before, and
Over the arch of your foot.
yeah, so I relaced it, and you can see in this one, I opened up the middle of the shoe, like so I didn't have any laces on the top, and that actually worked perfectly fine. So no issues with the lacing after that, and then just kind of they felt great, especially in the last miles. Like I thought I could still get some nice pep and just like very comfortable. And my legs felt really good the next day and today. Like,
They might be one of my favorites now.
yeah.
Like you're gonna race in that for like your next race, or if you could.
My next race, I cannot.
Right. But if you could, is this your number one pick now?
I don't know about number one. I'd have to put it on against. Like I am giving up on the Alpha Fly one. I'm like I got to move forward. So right now, I'd say the
Sorry.
the Vaporfly 3, the Hoka.
Yeah, I'm really interested. I would love to try the Hoka on a full marathon
Yeah.
just to see, like,
If it would be there.
just to see. But I felt like this was really, really
I also
nice.
love the look of the all white. And yeah, they got a little muddy and dirty, but I think it adds to the character of the shoe.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, they stayed aside from the toe box.
Yeah, your toe.
But it looks kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
kind of has like a gray fade now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So well done. Yeah, it all worked out pretty well in the end with that shoe.
And thank you to Adidas and our host Mac for really making it a great, event, and like that, the swag, the package, the shoes, everything just worked out perfectly.
Yep.
I was a little nervous with it because I opened up the top of the shoe there. Wasn't able to like hold the tongue down. I was worried it would slide, but it didn't slide
problem.
or anything. Yeah. So.
I wore my laces the conventional way out of the box, and I was fine.
Oh, because did I tell you about the lock laces thing?
Mm-mm.
So I tried to do lock laces the night before,
Yeah.
and because the lace tips on the lock laces are too thick, and
You couldn't get them through the hole.
the Adi Zero holes are tiny, I couldn't get it through the hole. So I was like, cannot use those.
Wait, did you unlace your entire shoe before you figured this out?
Yeah. That was cool.
These would be amazing.
I was lacing them on the bus to
Can you imagine if these had a boa dial?
that would be very interesting. I was talking about the guy beside me, again, like someone needs to do this. Like I really want to see it in a race shoe.
Well, for a while, I thought it was going to be New Balance.
Yeah. Is it the cost thing? Is it just getting people to buy on to like get on board with it?
I think we've maxed out, like right now, cushioning technology until a new cushioning comes out.
Yeah.
You've got the rebound, you've got the plate, you've got the setup. We're just seeing variations of that now in the shoes. Where the next thing is going to be fit, and
I know. I thought it would be here
uppers.
already. Like they'd be.
I think people are going to start doing weird stuff with insoles because they're already kind of doing it.
Like, what do you mean?
Like new materials and like Puma has the weird thing in there with the stability feature. There's people trying to send us carbon fiber insoles.
Yeah, but I don't want a carbon fiber plate right next to my foot. I want the cushion.
Yeah.
And then like sandwiched in. And honestly, who knows how much stress I'm putting on a carbon fiber plate going at the paces I did the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a great time.
I feel like and Kafuzi wore the Prime X strong.
Yeah. Those all whites.
Yeah.
Which, so as soon as I got to Athletes Village, he was there and his shoes were all muddy already. And I was like, dude,
What?
you haven't even started running yet.
He didn't bring a junk pair to Athletes
No.
Village. What the hell, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a one-day shoe anyway for Kafuzi, whatever he's going to wear this strong. He'll wash them off or whatever, but yeah.
And then, so then after the race, I scurried back to the hotel because I was freezing. I was shivering. They double blanketed me up at the finish. Like one of the medical people were like,
Oh, I got my picture with Joni at the finish too. Joan Benoit.
nice.
Yeah, that was ridiculous looking.
Well, I'll show it to you.
Pull it
Now
up.
it's going to have to
Put
be
it-
on the podcast.
Yeah, put it on the
Like it's
YouTube.
ridiculous looking. Let's see here.
But yeah, I only had one blanket on. I was walking past medical and I was like shivering. They're like, do you need another blanket?
Yeah.
I was like, yes. And then I just sat in the shower for
I
like
still
20
got to
minutes
Photoshop Robbie's picture.
when I got back to the hotel.
Yeah. Yeah. It's something special.
Yeah.
What's special about
No,
that? My
Your face. Yeah. Mostly your face.
Let me see your face again on that. Yeah, you look like you had a Sour Patch Kid or a Warhead right there.
That's silly Joni. She was looking at me like I was nuts.
So
It's actually not that bad.
Thomas came straight to the bar because as we know, he didn't shower. And so we were all drinking and then he just joined us and was drinking, which I don't know how he possibly did that because like you, I was freezing
know.
cold.
I am telling you.
don't understand.
I was on a high. I was just like, whatever. And I was like ready.
So then, yeah, we had a bunch of drinks there. Then we met up with Mike Coe and Drew
We went back to the Joe's.
Went to Joe's, got some burgers.
That burger was delicious.
I think anything would have been pretty good right
I got a half rack of ribs.
Did you really? Mm-hmm. I didn't notice that, and that's something I would have probably noticed, especially with your mustache.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was sloppy.
Jared getting the hot onion soup.
I almost got that, too.
Looked pretty good.
I do love French onion soup. But for some reason, that's like my favorite thing to get after a race is like pulled pork or like ribs.
There was somebody
like,
that we interviewed that was into that.
Okay.
I forget who it was. One of the pro athletes. They're like barbecue after.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just that's.
Salty meat.
Yeah, like I think like protein is just solid.
Yeah. So we got some drinks with them, and then we went back to the bar 10?
Yeah, we ended up back at bar 10 just because we knew it was easy and we could get more drinks there. And then you guys left us, and then we kept drinking.
I can't believe that's like got to be the first right there.
I know.
I'm almost ashamed.
You guys. And we got a bottle of wine and finished that off.
Yeah, with feathers, and there was like this Spanish people there. We were just having a great old time. I definitely hurt myself more with alcohol than running.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Were you hungover the next day?
Oh, yeah.
I was actually
I felt pretty good.
I felt good. I didn't do anything crazy.
Yeah, and then we hopped on the plane.
Yep.
Which we were like
without
freaking
a little
out.
drama, yeah.
Because there was at Southwest grounded all their flights right before we were about to get on, and then I guess it got resolved quickly. Which has that ever happened ever? I was just assuming we were going to be there for another day.
I like because Robbie's like, we got to get a hotel. And
I always get the worst.
He
case
started
scenario.
planning, and I was like, they'll figure it out.
And I'm like, let's just give it an hour.
Well, the last time that happened over Christmas, that was actually the case. It was like two days before they even got back in action.
But like we don't have
Whatever.
to cross like a body of water. We could technically rent a car and drive down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't have to. That all worked out.
Yeah. And I had to coach T-ball last night right after we got back. I was like, dude, I can't
What a day.
deal with kids. Like,
It's horrible.
it was fine. I was just
Tired.
teeing up, putting balls on a tee, and then it was all good. But yeah, it was long. It was definitely tiring.
Yeah, that's a tiring
I
weekend.
mean, there's so much stuff.
I literally was like, I'm gonna take a month off and just kind of like
month
ease
off.
back
got
in.
3 weeks.
And we were like, oh, Brooklyn half. So maybe we should, before we end this, talk a little bit about what we got going on.
Yeah, so we made that announcement. We're doing the Train to NYC again. So we'll be heading to New York City with a core team of 10 runners, and then we're selecting another 5 who can apply to run.
The New York
with us.
The New
For
York City Marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to do some stops along the way. We are going to do like a kickoff sort of for this Train to NYC at the Brooklyn half this May. So that's when we plan to announce who is on the team that weekend, and we'll run the race, and then we'll sort of talk about what else is going to happen in the lead up to the New York City Marathon.
So, and you can apply to join us for the New York City Marathon for this Train to NYC too.
Yeah.
And we'll put the description in the link.
Yeah.
I feel like there's been a lot of people, right?
We have over 600 applications.
And we've only announced it once.
Yeah.
So
apply, but know that if you aren't chosen, we still love you. There's just a lot.
Yeah. And not everybody who gets in we're going to have prizes and stuff for the people just for applying. We're going to give out some prizes as well.
Yeah.
No,
Not to 600 people.
no, but some I said.
Yeah.
I didn't say
Oh,
all.
all right. Cool. So, yeah. Anything else for this podcast? Thomas, did you want to?
I have a big announcement.
Okay, go ahead.
We have hit 100,000 Instagram followers.
Wow. Did you ever think that day would come?
No, I remember the first time we hit 10,000. I was so excited because we could at that time you could only do links if you had
Right.
10,000. And I remember the first time Megan and I were doing Trans Rockies together. I think that was way back in the early days of Instagram, and we hit like 3,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or something
Probably.
ridiculous. And I was like, yes. So 100,000 is pretty insane.
That is insane.
Yeah, man. Thank you for being on this journey. And like I said, it was so crazy to hear people coming up to us in Boston and say, hey, I listen to the podcast. There's people that I was just talking and were like, oh, I didn't know what you look like. I'm like, wait a second, we have Instagram, we have YouTube, we have all this stuff, and you listen to the podcast, but never like been like,
That's so
what
wild.
what do these people look like?
Yeah.
Like she's like, I recognize one of the people.
Some people don't have Instagram.
Well, it was during the Carbox pickup, so they probably listen to Feel for the Soul.
Oh, right.
And so they'd only heard my voice on that one. And she was like there, and she's like, you must be Thomas.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh, and related to that, on the bus ride to the start line, did I tell you that, Meg, where the guy I was sitting beside Thomas and I busted out our graham crackers and we're eating them. The guy's like, hey, I have graham crackers too. I was listening to the Alley on the Run podcast, and there was this nutritionist on there, and she was like, you need to eat graham crackers before the race. And I was like, we know Thomas is on that podcast with that nutritionist. And he was like, no way. So he brought his graham crackers.
That's so funny.
My favorite was Kafusi. This lady came up to him, wanted to get her picture, but she didn't know who he was. He just saw people getting pictures with him. So he's taking a picture with him, and I was in the background. I'm like, you're gonna want to save that picture. And so Kafusi's like, took her phone from her and was like, yeah, this is my channel, and subscribed her right there. And he goes, and then I went to your channel to subscribe her, but she was already subscribed. So he's like, ah!
Nice.
He was annoyed. But, yeah,
That's funny.
That's awesome.
I think on YouTube it was crazy. But yeah, all right. I mean, does that wrap it up? Did we cover everything?
I think we covered a lot. Yeah.
think that's pretty
I think
good.
people
Hey.
are probably done with us.
Not too bad. Honestly, an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah,
not the
Tokyo's fun.
worst.
Thank you to New Balance for hosting and helping us get the word out about carbs and loading up
Yep.
carbs for the racing. Love working with you. We're excited to be doing Train to NYC. Big thanks to our partner ASICS, who we do lots of fun stuff with. Once again, just an amazing crew. Like, everything is flawless. It's so easy. Like, we come, you guys are a class act, get everything nailed down perfectly. Just fantastic team. And then also Adidas. What a weekend. I'll treasure this for the rest of my life. Like, this ability to do this event and to, share these memories, just incredible. So, we love working with these different brands, and it's interesting to see the perspective on what's going on in the market from each one of these brands. Of course, we will always be truthful and keep our word to our listeners and our viewers. Like, even though we're doing projects with some of these brands, we kind of keep it in two separate silos. We have our silo where we give you our honest opinion about the products and gear that we're reviewing. And then we have the events and things, the experiences that we can share with you by working with these brands. So we keep them separate, but it's, just fantastic to be able to work with the brands, work with you, have all these people out in the audience come see us and hang out. It's amazing. Robbie, isn't that great?
Yeah, pretty great.
All right.
It actually is great. And I feel like even while we're there, I was like, Mackenzie from Adidas, I was like, thank you. And she's like, oh yeah, no problem. Like, hope you can do it again. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, for real, like,
Life-changing.
I don't think you understand. It's so awesome. And she's like, yeah, totally. I was like, man, whatever.
All right.
So thank
And
you.
again, thank you to Jarrett, who did a great job kind of being our support staff while we're in Boston. And big shout out to Brandon, who is always just nailing it with the photos. We're going to make the photos available, all the photos from this weekend, for both the New Balance and the ASICS events, available to anybody who'd like to download their picture, or if you're in them or just want the pictures, we'll make those available. And he also edits this podcast. So thanks a lot, Brandon. And a special personal note, thank you, Brandon, for running with me. I love running with you. Like, we got to run Tokyo together. That was awesome. Running Boston together, incredible. I hope you don't train for New York so we can run that together as well.
All right, cool.
That's it.
Thanks, y'all.
Hi,
I
Ma.
want to thank Ben for running with you.
Oh yeah. Ben is my favorite human in the whole world. He's the best.
I'm sitting right here. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, but like he's the
On
best.
race day.
He's the best pacer. He's the best. Thanks, Ben.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Peace out, people.